I think I definitely have anxiety. If it comes down to self-diagnosing me, yes, I have anxiety because as much as I want to go out to parties and do all of that stuff, network, socialize, I cannot. People don't understand the anxiety I have. If you're big, then you'll understand, but some people don't understand. Now, I've gained so much weight, right? I've been losing, gaining. Within those processes, I've managed to still step out in clothes that I want to step out in, show my belly, show my rolls, show my titties them, show my legs them. Guys, I promise you, all those things now have become my insecurity. I'm covered up. Bitch, do you think I'll be wearing this shirt? It's cute. But I know why I'm wearing it because I don't feel cute. I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm tired of being delusional about my weight, right? So I have to fix it. I have to do something about it, whether it takes me long, because I don't like the whole losing weight process. It's slow, dude. But it's me doing the things that I used to do before that were not healthy is literally why I put on weight 10 times more. Like, you know, when you be starving yourself and you be doing the craziest shit, like you lose all that weight and then you'll gain all your weight back times more. So obviously now my weight is getting to me, and when I would put on weight, that wouldn't stop me from wearing the things I want to wear. Yeah, I would go to Ugandan parties. I promise you, they were so welcoming, like everyone was on vibes. But as the years progressed, it became like, I wouldn't say kiddish, but they were starting to come in it. So from there, people actually like come for my weight and maybe be calling me a sumo wrestler when really and truly, like, you can just say Helen, dark skin girl, quite big. Do you know what I mean? Respectful, but you ain't got to do the most. So that triggered me. And then, you know, you be seeing yourself in certain angles and you're like, fuck, like, what is this shit? Like, I look like a whole whale. No, honestly, how they described me is literally how I look to a T. It's just so I can prepare myself for whatever type of comments are going to swing my way if I want to post something nice and, you know, I don't fit into the societal standards of beauty. And I was like, for fuck's sakes, can a girl just live? Like, you know, acting like you ain't never seen no big girl in your life when really and truly there's somebody in your family who is big too. This is why I can't do this. This is why I can't even wear this. There's so many things playing in my head. Like, I promise you, from girls it hurts, but the guys, it really, really does hurt because you're being judged because of your weight. Like, you're being mocked because of your weight. And for me, that's put me in positions where I've compared myself to girls around me because I knew I can't wear certain things. I mean, I can, but I don't feel comfortable enough because I know people are not going to come for me. I feel like the UK just gives me secondary school vibes. Like, you know, your drip as a big girl, I'm telling you, it's even more pressure as a big girl. And you know what? We all should expect to be dressing up clean and nice, but the pressure is real, you know. And for me, I'm still trying to find my style. Certain things that I used to wear when I was big, I'm talking about 2023, guys. You couldn't tell me nothing. 2023 was my year. I gained 10 kg more since 2023, but I can't wear those same things anymore because I'm actually looking at myself and I'm like, nah, I don't feel cute. My stomach is actually showing. I'm not trying to have people pre me up and down, pre my legs. I've literally had people pre my legs before because they're like so big. Well, not big, but you know, they kind of shake when they walk and I don't like that. So that's literally my new insecurity, but obviously because I've gained weight. But I know this feeling is not going to go when I lose weight. Trust me. So now it's like, got to do the physical work and I got to do the mental work. But at the same time, I want to be able to step out. I haven't done things that I wanted to do. I haven't worn the outfits that I wanted to wear. I haven't mentally worked on myself to have that mindset yet that I've always wanted to have. That confidence that I just always wanted to have, because I could really die tomorrow, God forbid. And I'm too busy thinking about what the UK people them think. I'm only talking like this is because of what I see on social media. I see people who are not conventionally attractive within the UK scene get ridiculed because they're not conventionally attractive, face-wise, appearance-wise, body-wise, image-wise, anything. If the UK people think you're ugly, you're fat, you're this, you're that, they're not going to rate you. They're not on that bully thing. They don't bully people because of their appearance or whatever. But then in real life, that's literally what they're doing. So I choose not to carry myself in certain events, certain parties, wherever I feel like those kind of vibes that I'm going to receive, I try not to take myself there. And it really hurts me because I want to go to those places, but I just can't until I work on my confidence and, you know, not giving a fuck about what anyone says. Because there's people who be like, why do you care what these lot think? But I've been there before where you're embarrassed to be with me. I don't want to experience that, you know? This UK gives me so much anxiety, I can't lie. But that's not an excuse why I'm fat. Like, that's a whole different story. I'm just telling you how my weight really does play into this, and I don't want to be fat for the rest of my life. I just didn't want my weight to determine how people treat me. Things like this feeds into us from young because of family, our environment, who we're surrounded by. And it's a thing of like, you have to accept certain things about yourself that you may not like. And I know I can do it. I think it's just because I lack patience. And then on top of that, emotional eating. When I'm stressed, I'll eat. When I'm sad, I'll eat. I will stuff my face. Like, and it's so crazy how that can actually change your mood. Like, when I'm stressed, I'll order something. But even in the moment of eating it, I'm like, like, you're such a big bag. And then it's like, this is making you happy? You could actually go out for a walk. You could actually do yoga. That maybe could help. Do you get? So I'm just going back into the old shit that I used to do when I would feel stressed and depressed and all that things. And people just like, you know what, Helen, come on now, be easy on yourself. You went through a car accident, this whole family stuff that you went through. And I'm just like, how long I have to stop it. I have to put an end to it. Like, I'm the one that's in control of my life. Well, for the God. But it's a lot. Your friends may not be able to see what it is you're feeling, and they may not relate. They may understand, but at the end of the day, they may tell you, babes, you gotta be confident. You gotta embrace all this stuff. You gotta not care what people think. And it's true, they're not lying. But that's something that I have to work on. I don't feel good within myself, just body-wise, because I've gained so much weight. And I'm just not mentally in that spirit. I went on a date the other day, and this guy, I just know he could read me like a book. I'm a shy babe, I'm insecure, and I was like, damn, is my energy already giving that?
Okay, now I am into girls of all size, BBW, SBBW, the whole thing, slim, big. I don't mind. I think there's beauty in everything, right? At the end of the day, it seems like what she wants is some kind of reciprocation that men find her attractive. And if she is, then she has to be bothered enough to find out what men she's looking for find attractive and see if there's anything that she can do to make that happen. So she mentioned about overeating and eating for comfort and things like that. That is tipping on some kind of mental health need. And again, there's lots of guys out there who love larger ladies, if that's what she is. We can't really tell, but like reading between the lines, loads of men, myself included, we love BBW, SBBW, not a problem. But it's not like every single one of them. You know what I mean? There's still got to be some kind of beauty standards, and the beauty standard isn't set by self ever. The beauty standard is set by whoever you're trying to attract. So if she's finding problems trying to attract that person, and it's solvable, if that is getting some kind of help in order to overcome some kind of eating disorder where you eat for comfort more so than for actual need, then overcome that first and then move on to the next problem. You can't get to stage 2 before you've completed stage 1, and maybe it's really that simple. And she also mentioned about friends. Now listen, again, I'm a man. Men will tend to give you the honest, objective advice. One man to another, you're going to get that honesty. Somewhere along the line, somebody in the group is going to tell you that truth spotlight about what you actually need to do, need to move your life forwards. So if those friends are not saying that you've got some kind of eating disorder, yes, you're always going to be a big girl and you're beautiful. But if you've got an eating disorder and that's what you need to tackle, that's what your friends need to say. Not just, okay, just carry on eating yourself into medical conditions and I'll put the blinkers on. That's not what she needs. And that's not what her friends should be providing. So they shouldn't be saying, okay, find somebody who accepts you as you are, if that's never going to work, basically. That's my advice. My advice would be, as I said, get the help you need, get yourself in a position where you can actually help yourself going forwards, and then do it. She did talk about when she was late teens, maybe early 20s. Maybe some of the things that she's talking about are not actually to do with weight. It's to do with the aging process. And there may be some guys that may have been attracted to her when she was in early 20s. If she's still going clubbing, those guys are still in their early 20s, but now she's late 20s, and there may be an age factor, not even a size factor, about why they're just not interested in her anymore. And that is why, if a girl in her early 20s is looking for somebody else of the same age bracket for a long-term relationship, or she's in her prime, that is not what young men are looking for. And exactly the same with men in their mid-20s, and I'm not talking about everybody, I'm talking about the majority, but truly, the vast majority of men, early 20s to mid 20s, are not looking for a relationship. And that's just the facts. As a man in his 40s who's lived it and looked at all the peer groups around him, and men understand men. So she has to factor this in at some point, because this is where reality starts. Okay? Men in their late 20s, or realistically 30 plus, may well be looking for a long-term relationship. Again, I'm not talking about all, and I'm talking about men who've actually got their life together and shown some kind of ambition in order to sustain a potential family, say if that relationship gets somewhere, and they've done their playing around in their 20s. Listen, do what you want to do, but my advice as a man in his 40s with a kind heart is, don't waste your prime years chasing relationships which aren't likely to lead to anything. And when age creeps up, trust me, you go from being able to attract all men of all ages, pretty much, to a much smaller bracket year on year. And that's just the facts. Unless you're particularly attractive, or you're particularly gifted, front or back, or something in some way, depending on the men you're trying to look for. She kept on making references back to some kind of car accident that happened sometime in the past. And I think that's just some justification for excessive eating, it would seem. And I'm not saying that she's excessive eating. I'm saying that she's eating excessively. We couldn't even see her body. I'd love to see, actually, I'll do some research if I can. But she seemed to make reference to bullying, but there's 9 million people in London. There's going to be a few idiots out there who can't keep their own opinions to themselves. And also, we don't know about how she was dressing, if she was inviting the attention. We just literally don't know. For example, have you ever gone out there, I'm not talking about her now, and you just seen somebody with like clownish makeup, like just bright colours here, 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 almost like they didn't use a mirror and they just closed their eyes. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's her, but just as a case in point. And obviously that person's going to attract attention. They looked in the mirror before they left and they haven't worked out what was going to happen going forwards. She also did say that she's got large legs. I love large legs. I'm going to be honest, your legs and thighs. And her stomach is like visible. So she's a particularly large lady. Now, it's not the norm in the UK to have your stomach protruding. That means you are particularly obese and that will draw attention. That's just social norms. It's nothing to do with her being dark skinned, like she said, nothing to do with her being a woman. It's her being on the extreme of the norm, and that's it. And whilst it's unfortunate for her and how she's internalized it, it's just the complete norm of society. So she would need to either do something about it by getting the help she needs, not to eat excessively. Ozempic is everybody's friend these days. That's not medical advice. Or finding the resolve in order to diet and eat in a way which manages calorie control, which we can't pretend that if we were trying to diet or get in shape, we don't know exactly how to do it. But if we choose not to do it, then it just won't suddenly magically happen. And if that is your main obstacle to overcome and you don't overcome it, then you will always be impacted by it. And I think, to be honest, that is the long story short. There you go. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. And listen, I'm only saying this as a man who thinks objectively and solution first. I don't know this girl and I've got absolutely nothing against her. Sounds like she's very happy and successful and I want her to fly and that's it. But she's presented a problem and we're just trying to present a solution with kind hearts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Daddy Steve and I'm out.